I actually this morning got to go ahead and post all three Dragon Knight builds, so I'm going to finish this weekend off with another Sorcerer build. Now, for all my fans and subscribers, I've been getting a couple messages on PSN, very few on the PC because I'm not really on PC a lot. One person asked me about it, about doing more Stamina Nightblade builds. I'm going to try to get around to that. So I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get everything situated on PC. I'm falling a little bit behind because I've been on my PS this week. So trying to get caught up. But I wanted to go ahead and put out another Sorcerer build today. This one is going to be called the Daedric Barrage. And I will explain why. I kind of wanted... So I have very complicated builds with Sorcerer at times. So I wanted to do something a little bit more simple. Now, this one is just kind of... you can do vet content with this setup. And you can do normal trials with this setup. You won't be able to really get too far with any vet trials with this setup because there's better setups for the Sorcerer. Because you can get into really complicated gameplay with Sorcerer. And you can get different configurations. You could try it. I'm not going to say you can't do it. I probably wouldn't use this build in, excuse me, any vet trials, personally. Not to say that you can't, but I personally wouldn't do it. But it's a good build. It's common. It's a very simplistic build. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with this build. And just kind of give it out to players who are trying the Sorcerer maybe for the first time, don't know which direction really, excuse me, to go, and dang it, and really want some really nice amount of damage and still be functional. Because a lot of this gear, part of this gear is going to be hard to get, and some of it's pretty simple. But let me go ahead and get into it. First off, I'm going to go ahead, eat my food buff, put that on. All right. We're going to get into the character sheet. On the staff side, we're looking at 46,281 Magicka, 20,028 health. Magicka recovery is at 1,087. Spell damage without any buff or builders is sitting at 2,163, and our spell crit currently is at 55%. I love that. It's almost perfect, people. This is kind of like the ideal layout for what I try to push for with the stat sheet. When I see a stat sheet, this is kind of, a perfect scenario. Over to the left, you're going to go ahead and see Magicka's at 64. And the boon we're running is going to be the Apprentice. Okay, so that's what's set up right there on staff side. On the dual side, when we look over here, you're going to see Magicka at 46,281, and Magicka recovery is at 1,087. Sorry, that's my daughter. They're home today. 20,028, and my spell crit has dropped down to 51.5, and spell damage is at 2282. Okay, so the sets that we're going to be running with this, all right, we're going to be running Necropotence, and now this is ideal. All right, I want the precise staff of Necropotence. The reason being, that's what's giving me my crit percentage. Sorcerers have very low crit percentage. So, depending on the setups you use, you usually have to pick up precision if you're only wearing like Julianos or Scathing Mage or something, because you don't have your crits under 50, right? So usually precise works out better for sorcerers in that scenario. Now, if you're running two different crit sets, then you can go with swords with sharpen, and then or Nirnholm. I prefer Nirnholm staff, and then if I'm running Julianos, then maybe sharpen swords, or one of each, depending if I'm on each class. So I'll just leave it at that, because there are different abilities that can give you penetration. So anyways, but I do run crushers on this, because what I end up doing is a lot of the times I'll switch out between the boss. The boss usually has a higher end resistance, so on this scenario I do use crushers instead of increase, just because when I go to staff side, there's a couple of abilities that I'm pushing out on the boss. I want to kind of just hit those up a little bit harder on the boss scenarios, but typically I would recommend increase on staff, but on sorcerer it doesn't hurt to go with the crushers. All right, Now, I don't have this in the ideal sword. So I have the Sword of the Scathing Mage charge at the moment. I want the sharpened because I lose the 10% from the Destruction Staff. Because Destruction Staff gets 10% to penetration. All right, so we all know that. That's a fact. It's in there. Not making it up. You know, whatever. And then this is also ideal. Is the Sword of Necropotence Imprecise. Once again, this is going to give me my crit percentage. So I want to keep that crit percentage above 50. So that's ideal. The only thing ideal pistol I'm not missing is the Scathing Mage Sword. Head of Magicka, medium, divine. I actually want this infused, but all my other characters are using my other infused Magicka pieces. And it is what it is, so I'm using the divine for now, but I want the infused. Chest, Scathing Mage, infused. And sorry once again. And my shoulders, sorry guys, it's my daughter. My heavy shoulders, divine, that's glyphed health. My belt is light, divine, necropotence. Hands, light armor, necropotence. Legs, necropotence, infused. Feet of necropotence, divine, max health. I like to be a little bit above that 20k. A lot of people are like, oh, you can use a ward and shit like that. Hey, I don't like to die to mechanics if my wards drop. It's just me. If you want to go that low, it's your funeral. Have at it. Good luck. That's your game style, not mine. You can push lower if you want. Not me. I just don't like it. Scathing Mage necklace, 157 Magicka recovery. Sorcerers get a passive, right, in their skills. It should be under Storm Calling. Yeah. So increase your weapon and spell damage 2% for each sorcery ability slotted. Okay, guys. That's why I have it set up like that. Because I have spell damage. I need some sustainability. So I'm going to have one jewelry with recovery. Any other class, I usually put the spell damage. Sorcerer, I don't need to because I'm using a lot of sorcery abilities, so I'm getting a little bit more from my spell damage, so I just want a little bit recovery, and I'm not a vampire on this. So I, need that recovery. It's great. Anything over 1,000, around 1,100, that's really good. So I like that. It gives me a nice sustain. Ring of Scathing Mage, Arcane, spell damage 174. And another Ring of Scathing Mage, spell damage 174. Now, this is how you get this set up. Scathing Mage is an ICP. If you want the purple jewelry, you'll have to do the vet, or you can farm the districts and the sewers to get key fragments, and you can go in the vault and just roll the dice. You're rolling the dice even in dungeons, but you get a lot more drops because of the bosses. So, pick your poison. Maybe a little of both. Necropotence, you're going to get in... hold on, let me open up my map. If you want the Necropotence set, you can buy it. It's easy to farm, though. You can go over here to Rivenspire, right? And literally, you can farm between these two bosses. Just keep farming. There's usually farm groups. If you're on PC, it's even easier. Consoles, not so much. There's not that many groups running around. PC, all the time. I mean, every day. You can just farm between these two bosses, or you can go over here and farm between this boss and this anchor. So, you got another one over here. This is a better farm spot, really, to be honest with you. But I like hitting this up, because then I can hit the public delva as well. All right? So that's how you get Necropotence. Magicka is in a white gold tower head, and the shoulder is in the undaunted chest in the middle one. So that's how you get the setup here, guys. Now, as far as the skills go, and I don't know if I have enough charge, I'm hoping I do. Okay, on the staff side, we're going to be using Power Surge. This is our builder. This is going to invoke major... it's going to give us major brutality, major sorcery, increasing our weapon damage and spell damage by 20% for 33 seconds. While it's activated... Anytime I deal a critical strike, it's going to heal me for 2,550 health every second. So that's pretty good. I really always want to maintain a builder. This, to me, is probably one of the best builders for the sorcerer. You can use degeneration if you want, so you can also get the Might of the Mage. That's an option. It would give you a little bit more extra damage. So if you don't want to go ahead with that heal and don't use Power Surge, you can go with the degeneration. Storm Pulse. This is probably my favorite combo. After I lay down my AoEs, I'll throw down Storm Pulse. It'll deal 6,141 shock damage, reducing their, giving them minor mangle, reducing their max health by 10% for 33 seconds. I just bar swap, and then I'll hit them with the Endless Fury. Endless Fury is going to go ahead and deal 3,640 shock damage. The secondary effect, when paired with the Pulse, is going to cause the explosion, dealing an additional 12,951 and to that target. And if it dies, it'll deal AoE effect of 2,355 to nearby enemies. Also, if anything dies by that ability, I'm going to restore Magicka for 4,132. I really like this because it gives me a lot of sustain, especially when I continuously proc Magicka. Over here, Empowering Ward. The reason I have Empowering Ward on here, right, guys, I proc Magicka quite a bit. So if this is your first time using Magicka, this is a really good setup for you to use, because what Empowering Ward does is that it gives you minor intellect to you and your nearby allies, increasing magic recovery by 10% for 10 seconds. So you can, use Magicka a lot better with more sustain. So that's why I'm always saying, look at sustain if you're going to go ahead and use Kina, because that is a very big important issue. If you're just using it for a burn down effect, you're really not using Kina to its you benefit. If you have a lot of sustaining effects, you can go, I cannot see your comment. If you're using a lot of more sustained effects, you're going to be able to proc Kina more frequently. But once again, everybody has their own play style, and you can play to your strengths and whatever works out best for you. Twilight Tormentor. This is why I really like using this pet with the Necropotence. What it does, I don't even know why some people just do this. It's going to empower my Twilight Tormentor, causing it to deal 50% more damage to enemies above 50% for 15 seconds. This is really great because I can go ahead, use this effect, get a lot more damage out of the Tormentor, right, for a single target, especially on boss fights. So I'm going to go ahead, hit the Tormentor, and I'll go throughout my rotation, and it'll help burn down faster. Inner Lights on both bars. And what this is doing for us is giving us Major Prophecy, increasing our spell critical rating by 2,191. This is also increasing. I don't have this maxed out yet. I'm still in the process because I used to use the bound armament, but I'm just using the Inner Light this time because of the spell crit, and the max Magicka still apply. Also, sorry guys, I don't even know what's going on. My allergies or something's messing up. Thunderous Rage. Create a cataclysmic storm at the target location after 2 seconds that lays waste to all enemies in the area, dealing 9,716 shock damage every 1 second for 7 seconds. This is a pretty good AoE effect at a range, so I really like this in dungeons. On the back bar, the dual wheel bar, we're using a Lightning Flood. No surprise here. It's going to be an AoE effect, dealing 3,020 damage every second. I like this better than Liquid Lightning because it increases the radius size. But if you like the Liquid Lightning, you can do that too. Anybody can activate the Synergy to deal 9,419 shock damage to nearby enemies. Okay, this is a pretty familiar combo here, guys. Endless Fury. Call down a Lightning Strike to deal 3,640 shock damage. If the enemy falls below, we went over this, it's going to go ahead and deal 12,951 damage and 2,355 to surrounding enemies. This combo's up with Crystal Fragments. Everybody knows this combo. Hit Endless Fury, hit Crystal Frags. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. It's simple. It's so simple. So, and Crystal Frags is going to go ahead and deal 13,289 magic damage and stunning them for 2.4 seconds. Casting any other magical ability has a 35% chance of causing your next Crystal Frags to be instant, dealing 20% more damage and costing 50% less. This is great. PC, you can actually get told, Crystal Frag, boom, Crystal Frag, boom, Crystal Frag. Just cast, when your instance up, right? Console, not so much. You're gambling. You might have to wait that 1 second for the cast time. PC, boom, boom, boom. They have an advantage using Crystal Frags. I love it. I like it. I'm just gonna say it, but it's there. We as console players, we can't really dictate that as much, so just got to pay attention, I guess. Once again, Tormentors on both because we're using Necropotence and we're going to be using Power Overload. Let's see if I got charged on Power Overload. I don't. But anyways, on my Power Overload, okay, let me explain this to you. So I have on my Power Overload, my Builder, my Endless Fury, then I have Daedric Curse, right? Because what ends up happening is Twilight Tormentor is going to deal more damage when they're above 50%. So what I want to do is when I'm going into the Power Overload and I'm in my burn phase, I want to go ahead and hit Daedric Prey. What this does is going to curse an enemy with a destructive ruin, dealing 11,129 magic damage to the target and 5,122 magic damage to all other nearby enemies. While the curse is active, your pet deals an additional 55% more damage. So that's why. Because above 50% health, I'm already getting 50% more damage. Below, it wouldn't really affect the Twilight Tormentor. So what do I need when during my burn in my Power Overload? I'm going to hit the Daedric Prey. So now I don't have to put it on my bar. It's in my Power Overload bar. So once I hit the Power Overload, boom, I hit the Daedric Prey, and it's just going to be my burn effect. So there it is, pretty much said and done, guys, how this build set out. Now let's get into the champion points. All right, the champion points are set up, pretty good here. I like the configuration. Elfborn's at 15%. We're at over the 50% mark, so I feel pretty good about setting this up a little higher to take advantage of the crit capability. Spell Erosion's set at 2,133. Elemental Experts at 23%. Now, I'm going to be weaving in and out, so I want to go ahead and put 6% into Staff Expert, and since I can crit with the Staff, I want to put Precise Strikes up to 6% as well. When I take a look over here, my Ironclad's going to be at 6.5. I want to be able to break free from any stuns or disorienting effects while I'm in a dungeon. Okay, Hardy and Elemental Defender are split, 20.4 each. Thick Skin's at 3%. Quick Recovery is at 7.8. And when we take a look into the Thief tree, we have Magician at 13.5. Arcanist at 23, Tenacity is at 8.1, Health is at 2.6, and there's nothing into the Shadow. And that's pretty much how we've distributed the CP points in this build. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the dailies here. Okay, my battery's getting low on my controller, so I'm going to just plug this in real quick here. Could grab the other one, but I'm not going to. All right. Now, earlier I did the Blessed Crucible. So, and the haters are out thick today, guys. Ooh, I'm feeling it. It's actually snowing where I'm at. I live in Ohio, so we have a little bit of flurries coming in, and I'm feeling it on YouTube too. These bastards are cold as fuck. So, let me see. I got one from another day. Let's see. Drop those two. I actually want to do Way Rest. We didn't do that today. No. So I'm going to queue this up. Now, like I said, guys, this is a pretty, it's a good build. I like it. I do. The funny thing about it is the Sorcerer has a lot of build options. You can do a lot of different things depending just even on the skills. And I always tell people, if you're going to use a pet, anytime you're going to use any type of pet, why not take advantage of Necropotence? Why not? When I use my Sorcerer Healer build, I use Necropotence. I love it. I love Necropotence on my heal build for the Sorcerer. A lot of people do, actually. I get a lot of likes on that video. That one's pretty popular. So I feel very comfortable with that build. And I always tell people, if you're going to use a pet, use Necropotence. If you're not going to use a pet, Necropotence doesn't do you really any good. So, Scathing Mage, I will never give it up. It's pretty much a foundation for a lot of builds I work around with the Sorcerer. I'm actually trying a new build for the Sorcerer. and I'm kind of interested in seeing how it's going to play out. So I don't know how it'll work. I've been testing a few things. But I honestly, at this point, I don't know.
Help out a poor soul.
Now, I still have to get my Twin Blade and Blunt unlocked on this character, because he was a healer for the longest time. You know, I was doing healing with this character quite a bit. A lot in vets. Like, we were pushing the Sorcerer healer to its potential. We were really stressing out the Sorcerer healer to see what it could do. And it was badass. That build was just badass. There was not one vet I didn't complete with that. Not one. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
I just finished.
Well, I'm glad those guys are going to be conversating with each other. Now, okay, guys. So I always want... Another thing that the ward's going to give me, it's going to help keep my pet alive. Because key thing to remember, when my pet's not out, my health drops. That's not a good thing. Oh, somebody's got Ebony on. Evan. I got an extra 1,000 health. Way to go, tank. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't tell me I don't know my shit here, guys. Fuck all you haters. Okay. Trying to set up the combo. Let's see if I can get it in here. Okay, come on. I want to set this up. Go and throw this up. Hit them with this. Drop their life. It's a pretty easy combo, guys. What is... These crocs are slow. Boy, guys, it is a busy day. Did I mention my kids were home today? They have like some in-school thing going on with the teachers. My concentration's getting messed up. Alright. Let's see if I can get bothered one more time today. I'm going to shut this door yet again. I'm going to put a big thing on it that says don't disturb. Jesus, they're even out there laughing. I have all girls, by the way. All girls. Not one boy. I can't see your comment, but if you can feel my pain. Okay. Okay, here's the deal, guys. So once I hit this, even though the curse isn't going to start applying anything, I can just go ahead. This keeps proccing Kina, right? I'm just showing you guys this for now. It's not ideal. You usually want to wait until the burn phase. You want to get it down to about 25% before you start putting it into the power overload. But I just kind of want to show you guys how it works. This is a pretty easy dungeon. So, you know, I'm not in a hurry or anything. Periodically, I want to go ahead and take advantage of that. Leave it up a little bit more. Trying to get it down to about 25. Trying to get a little bit more ultimate here. Okay. Okay. Hit the Daedric. Be right back. Okay. Okay. I understand. And that's the healer. I've never tried to drink and heal before. I wonder what that'd be like. My theory is heal responsibly. As long as you can heal. Sometimes I love to do the power overload and go force style with their asses. It's fun. Ah. I mean, you ever feel like that? I feel like when I play the Sorcerer, like, it's like the, the Emperor, with the Force Shock. You're like, and you're frying everything.
Have you come to meddle as well? Always use more corpses.
I hate this dude. He zips around a lot. There we go. I love that combo. Don't worry, guys. I suck. I'm sure we'll have a wipe sometime. I was debating about even, kind of doing this one. Ah. Eh. You know, it's an okay build. I like my Tesla coil a lot better. Ah, shit. Messed up on that rotation. Yes, I like this guy already. The tank and the healer are just dumb. When your DPS both want to go down the tunnel, that's a sign. I am Emperor Mystic. Feel my wrath, motherfuckers. Ah. Fucking fears. I really don't like crystal frags that much. I promise. I use it, but overrated spell in my opinion sometimes. What the? Now, I really think that ESO or ZOS should come out with like another morph set for each ability. That would be pretty fucking awesome. Sometimes I just feel like you're so limited in builds just based on morph selection, or redo some of the morphs. There's some morphs I have never even thought about using. Ah, shit. This fucking fear is getting on my nerves. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Whatever. Why? You know what? This is the way I look at it. 2 sorcerers, no healer, no tank. If the tank and them are dumb enough to freaking go without us, fuck them. Oh, here they come. They're getting it. What? Did my Twilight just leave the area?
Nobles, and now you threatened? You don't belong here. Come to me, my minion.
Now, like one thing I love about the lightning staff, guys, it does AoE damage on the weave. Comes in very handy on these scenarios.
Come to me, my minion.
What? How in the... I've never seen him move. It's the first time I've ever seen him move.
Come to me, my minion.
I've seen him move in the beginning, but never in the middle of the fight. I wonder if Zoss is like doing something with like the NPCs, making them smarter.
Come to me, my minion.
That would suck. He is moving.
Come to me, my minion. Come to me, my minion. Come to me, my minions.
What is this other sorcerer at? Let me see this. 148. You can get in here, you can play it. It is what it is. Alright. Yeah, I like that combo. Stop aggroing. Dumbass. Alright. Go, tank, go. Now I'm always going to try to stay on his side. Not necessarily always going to help, but... No! Dude, don't come over with me, ass! I'm trying to get on the other side. Excuse me. I don't want to do that, just a habit. What is this? Dang. Boy, they're putting out a nice bunch of little tricks this day. Never seen this one either. Where are they coming from? Are the pets aggroing them? From other rooms? What is... Oh my god, it was! They all are coming from the other room.
Pain ain't the word for what we're gonna do to you. Burn it!
Now, I'm also planning on doing a couple of different things with my Magicka Night Blade after my Stam Blade. And I sooner or later, I want to go ahead and get into Stamina DK. It's something I've been looking forward to. I haven't really got to mess with my Stam DK much. So... Man, CCs are... Okay. What? The CC... What? Come on, Zoss. I'm still walking like a turtle. Excuse me. Why is that? Whatever. Alright. What is that lagging too? I don't know if anybody's seen that. Saw that. It's like a little slight delay. Fuck it. I'm getting pissed. Taking way longer than anticipated. Wait a minute. Is that a Stam Sork ability, staff, clan fear? What build is this dude running? I mean, okay guys, whatever. I'm not going there. What are they doing? Yeah, fuck that scroll. Oh, fuck it. I'll do it. Somebody might die. I don't give a shit. You were looking for that? The tank's good. Healer's good. See what their lives are at. 29. What the... Hold on. Let me read. 29 DPS. Okay. Okay. You guys think I'm a little out there with health, huh? Yep. Of course, the healer would res me. Why do I have... Okay, I can admit me getting hit. Jeez. Okay. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna try to weave up as much as possible. I want to get this ultimate up there really fucking fast. Got up, got back down. Come on, proc Kina. Oh, snap. Don't have enough juice. It's fine. Keep her there, keep her there. Just goes to show, you can have off days. Don't know what you're getting into pug life, y'all. It's pug life. I'm a little off on my game as well here, but shit. Trying to synergize with that. It's not letting me. Why? Move it, move, kite it away, kite it away. Ah, bullshit. Get back in there, bitch. We're almost at the finish line. Oh. That healer's feeling it too. Come on. Almost. Alright guys, there it is. Infused Wicked Bite. That's not too bad. That's Combat's Physician. Infused. It's not too bad. Laurel. Sturdy. Alright guys. It's pretty... actually, I didn't like the run much, I'll be honest with you. But the build is okay. It pushes out some decent numbers. You know, there is... No, I don't want to join your guild, but thank you. It is a pretty... it's a pretty good build, you know, for starters. If you're going to try out Valkina and Scathing Mage and you're going to run a pet Necropotence, it's the way to go. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't run this in trials. I wouldn't, but... you know, it's good. It's you know, it'll get you through all the vets. So if you're just going to be doing vet runs, you need something a little bit more simplistic. You want to go ahead and use a pet. I typically don't run a lot of pets. If I'm going to use one pet, I'll stick with one pet. You won't see me have multiple pets out at one time. I do have a build that utilizes that. But for Magicka Sorcerer, I typically steer from that as much as possible. But you know, it's a good build. There are a lot of flexibility with Sorcerer. The reason I really wanted to do this video today, I really wanted just to show some of the flexibility that the Sorcerer has depending on the gear sets. So when you have different gear sets out there and you want to play around and you just want to say, okay, I'm going to use Necropotence and Scathing Mage, it can do that. Oh, I'm going to use Necropotence and Treasure Hunter. Okay. You know, that's the best thing about Sorcerers. Sorcerers do have a lot of flexibility. So, you know, play with your builds, you know. Don't be afraid to go out there and try something, you know. Put it together. Try it on a normal. If it works out, you know, scale it up to the vet level. You know, when you're doing your vet levels, start seeing how fast your runs go. See how much your base damage is doing. Low, high. Try to get a feel for what you could be doing to improve that build as much as possible. And experiment. Experiment with it as much as possible. That's the best thing that I really love about this. Looky, look, Mustard Tiger. Oh, the Roleplay Society wants me to join. Oh, Mustard. If anybody doesn't know, Mustard is a person who's following me, and I don't know if he loves me or hates me. But anyways, actually I could go ahead and I will probably block him after this video, if whatever, if he keeps harassing me. But yeah guys, so the thing about it is, what I want you guys to do is just play with your builds, man. You know, don't be afraid to push it out there. The one thing that drew me to ESO, Morrowind was my first Elder Scrolls game. Hands down, it set the bar for an RPG, right? It really did. It really brought together a lot of elements that I liked because it was sandbox, right? Complete sandbox. Of course, then I played a lot of other games. And when ESO was announced, I was so excited. But once again, everything had gotten a little scary with all the bugs. I was like, I'm not having Elder Scrolls Online ruin, you know, the fun for me for Elder Scrolls. So I avoided ESO forever, and I continued with Rift, DCUO, and there was another game I was playing at the time when Elder Scrolls was launched. And you know, I was doing my thing on those games at the time. And then, we had a big fallout on Rift with my raid guild. So we had gone through Tabula Rasa. I think it was at the end of Tabula Rasa, and I was testing for Cheyenne Mountain, which was going to be Stargate Worlds. And I was actually an alpha tester prior to the announcement, I think, for Elder Scrolls. And before that got shut down, I think that was even a year before that. So, and as you guys can see here, I have a lot of stalkers from this guild. But, the funny thing about it is, guys, when I came over here to Elder Scrolls, it really worked out well for me because I knew already what Elder Scrolls was, what direction they were going to go in. They were going to go class-based. It was already announced. And it kind of depressed me. But all of a sudden, I went into it and I said, you know what? I want to see firsthand how they're going to implement Sandbox because it's Elder Scrolls. So, and they did it through the gear stats. So it was kind of impressive. It was kind of unique approach to an MMO. And I really liked the idea. So that's one thing I'm always telling people. Don't believe the hype. There are certain better sets that will give you better numbers and better, configurations. And this is all true. Right? I'm not even going to deny that. But don't be afraid to play with your builds. Don't be afraid to reach out and see what's working best and what isn't. The best aspect about this game is not only, trying different gears and trying different builds, but seeing what works best for your playstyle. Because what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. So go out there, experiment, try your best, believe in yourself, guys. That's what I'm going to say. This is what this channel is about. It's about viability. It doesn't have to be the best. It just has to get the job done. But we always try to push for the best, and that's what keeps us competitive. Being competitive in life is not a bad thing, guys. It gives us admiration to push forward and excel and to push ourselves. At the end of the day, what good is it if you beat an opponent when you've never learned anything from it? So we want to learn in life. We want to go ahead and challenge ourselves. It's not about necessarily beating anybody or being the best, but it's challenging ourselves as individuals. And I'm always telling people that's what being competitive means. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I win or lose. I used to be an amateur fighter when I was younger, and I never got knocked out, but I lost a couple of fights by decision. And at the end of the day, if I walked out of the ring and, I lost the fight, I never was mad about it. I never beat myself up because, the way you look at it was like I'm challenging myself. Half the thing in any type of competition is mental capacity. Don't psych yourself out. Set yourself up, challenge yourself, push forward. And I'm always preaching that to people. Push forward, guys. Do what you want to do and try to become a better person and a better player, and you'll succeed in a lot of things. So once again and always, I do want to thank everybody for watching, and you all have a nice day.